Really? My story? You want to know my story? Because it's not called the Ronnie Reyes Show. I called it the Spark Your Heart Show because it's about you. It's about the people I could support and help and and grow with. Because what good is a journey if you're not bringing along a gang of people? But I get it, and I appreciate it. I'm honored that you asked me my story, and I don't know. I just where do I start? I mean, I started what in 1994. I moved to Las Vegas on a whim. I was kind of in a strange place. I think I was in my mid 20s and been in and out of college and finished my thing in the army. And I didn't know what I was doing. I think I was driving my little Mustang, a little 5 speed with I think I had about $700 and uh, my life in the car. You know what I mean? All my clothes, all my CDs at the time. And I didn't know what I was doing. I stayed at a little place called the Blue Angel there on Fremont Street. I don't even know if it's there anymore. And I looked for a job in the paper. I was selling photos. Remember those heads on bodies? Well, we did it in the computer, and I was selling photographs, and that wasn't going on too well. I did that for a couple months, and I don't know. I saw an ad in the paper, and I became a blackjack dealer. I mean, I went to school for it. It's a little trade school. It's like 3 months long. It's not long, but whatever. Flash forward, I had been doing it off and on and in and out of different casinos. I dealt blackjack and craps and roulette up in Tahoe. I even did a little stint in San Diego at the Indian reservations. There's casinos out there, and I was miserable. I was miserable. Again, like I said, fast forward. I went through a divorce. I struggled with addiction, and people always ask me, what changed? What changed in you, Ronnie, that made you want to get out of your clock in and clock out job? I mean, being a blackjack dealer was a super interesting experience. You meet the whole spectrum of humanity, and that's a whole nother story that I could share with you guys. But going back to what changed, I started saving, I started investing. I met Angela, and that's a great story. I'm gonna do a little pop up window here. I'm a little OCD, but uh, Angela and I actually met in high school at Kennedy High School in La Palma, California, and we were in a play together, West Side Story. She was a shark, I was a jet, you know, and high school and musical. You're in this heightened reality, and she moved away. She moved to Las Vegas, and we went our separate ways. And again, flash forward, um, 20 years later, high school reunion, Facebook. It was perfect. She was divorced. I was divorced, and there it is. And a couple of years later, we had Kennedy, and it was amazing. But I mean, of course, having a baby changed my life, and the other turning point in my life would be this leadership class I took on emotional intelligence. And you can ask me about that later, and I have tons of friends who've already gone through that experience. But I had a coach, I had an accountability coach. During my leadership experience, I got to give back to the community. Me and whatever 24 of my closest friends, we had a legacy project, and we raised over, I think it was 70, $80,000 in like 10 days. It was crazy, crazy insane. We had other corporation match our donations and blah blah blah. But the legacy project we did, was it just changed my life as well. A lot of life changing moments. But I I've always been fortunate to have good communication skills. Maybe being a blackjack dealer did me some good in regards to being able to talk in front of a camera, talk into the podcast little world. But sometimes it's difficult to be authentic. People tend to talk like this when they're on the radio, when they're in front of a camera, and it's not about that. I mean, it can be, but for me, it's not. I was fortunate enough again to get in touch with my vulnerability and to be courageous and to be loving and trusting, because it's not all about business. The Spark Your Heart show is for entrepreneurs. And yes, business is important, marketing is important, pay per clicks, and all that stuff is super important. But I gotta talk about what I like, and what I like is the heart. What I like is what's special. What I like is what's real and genuine. And so I don't know if that made any sense, but reach out to me. Reach out to me through Facebook Messenger. Be sure to comment, to like, and to share. And that's what Facebook is, a magical place. I like to call it the new Yellow Pages. I don't even know if you guys out there remember the Yellow Pages, but it's like a living Yellow Pages. Of course, everybody's trying to sell stuff on Facebook, but it was founded, at least my understanding of it, was social media. It's about being social. It's a whole different thing. And again, just reach out when you need help, when you need support, when you want advice. Yes, people are out there trying to sell it to you, and I like I said, I'm doing that too. I can't give away the store anymore, as one of my friends said, and I had a really come to the light moment when people are saying, "Well, how are you making money?" And we have put together an amazing experience. And yes, it is an experience. And the example I always like to give, being in front of a camera, being in a studio, being in, recording yourself, that's, I think public speaking is like the number one fear next to death. But going back to the experience, you can talk about swimming. You can read about swimming. You can go to YouTube and watch videos about swimming, but you're not swimming until you jump into the water. You see what I'm saying? You're not making videos if you're talking about making videos. Let's make a video. Come into the studio, we'll schedule it. I've only got like 4 or 5 more studio sessions left, and then I'm upgrading. Things are getting bigger fast. Things are happening exponentially in regards to the Spark Your Heart LLC, but that's a whole different thing. And my long-term vision is to get together with entrepreneurs who are already, small business owners who are already established, and put together a mastermind group. And this is what I call my own little leadership program. And this is it. This is the think tank. And you don't have to be in Vegas. We can get together over Skype or FaceTime or Google Hangouts, or the technology piece is easy. But it's about finding like-minded individuals who are ready to build a consortium, a conglomeration of entrepreneurs and small business owners who really get the power of working together, joint venture projects, exchanging lists, making recommendations. All that stuff will go into detail later. But the Spark Your Heart LLC, I formed to really take my hobby of podcasting, webcasting, whatever you want to call it, to the next level. So if you want to know how to make videos, there's tons of other products out there. They'll teach you about lighting, they'll teach you what gear to get. And I find that, entrepreneurs, they get caught up in that stuff. They get caught up in the technology. They get caught up in the latest software. They get caught up in da-da-da-da-da. There's overwhelm. I get it. I've been there. But I don't know what happened to me this month. People are coming out of the woodworks. People on Facebook are reaching out to me through Facebook Messenger, through text messaging, saying, what are you doing? Something good, something neat is happening here on the Spark Your Heart show. I've seen pieces of it, Ronnie, on Facebook, and that's by design, because I don't think people sit in front of their computer and watch a half-hour show. You don't watch Ellen, the whole episode of Ellen on your laptop anymore. She puts out little 2-minute funny bits, and then boom, you're on to the next thing. But she's there every day, and that's what we're doing with Spark Your Heart show and Spark Your Heart LLC. We're there every day putting out content. We have tons of content, but again, going back to what we're building is the mastermind experience. It's an experience that you will feel in your bones, in every cell of your body, that your business is you. That's the new thing for 2016, 2017. You are your business, and your business is you. We'll go on more in another little audio episode. But thank you for listening, and thank you for asking me my story. I appreciate it. Again, I don't mean to. It's not about me. It's about what sparks your heart.